Because when rich white men who have gone and taken over every other piece of land in this country and step on every little person they can to get the success level they have, when you try to tell them they're wrong or take that away from them, they will do whatever they got to do to mess you up. Spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen it. If you plan on watching Wicked and haven't, close your ears for a second. When they meet the wizard, she said, I don't understand. The animals haven't done anything to you. She finds out he has no real power. And she says, I don't get it. Why are you doing this to the animals? They haven't done anything to you. And he said, when I came here, because his balloon floated down into the land of Oz, when I came here, there was discord. People were unhappy. People were not together. People were fighting. And he said, I found the way to bring people together is to give them a really good common enemy. Are y'all listening? A really good common enemy. And I'm going to break it down in case some of you don't get it. Give them a real common enemy, because then everyone hates the same person. Everyone hates the same group of people. And that's what brings them together. Ain't nothing to bring everybody together like some good old hate. And that's what he has done. He stepped onto the scene. This country is in discord. This country is obviously not together. So he gave everyone a real common enemy. Trans people, specifically trans women. And oftentimes the most disenfranchised group of that is trans women of color. Now, the whole country has an issue with trans women. Keep them out of our bathrooms. Take them out the military. Don't let them read books to my kids. Now the whole country all of a sudden is together because they're hating a group of people. And it worked. Because people are so blind to what's going on. And then guess what happens? When you have someone like Elphaba who says, you know what? I'm going to go against the grain because what's wrong is wrong. And it doesn't matter who don't fucking like it. I'm going to speak up and I'm going to say what's wrong is wrong. And you ain't doing that in front of me. Not on my watch. Not with me being silent. And what did they do? They made her the next enemy. They got up. Madame Orville became the press secretary for the wizard. Are y'all not seeing the ties to the government that this movie has? Y'all, the book Wicked was written during the days of Hitler. The book was written as a protest to the Hitler government regime. You're not seeing it, right? Hitler's the wizard. He was the wizard in the situation. Made all these promises, gave everyone a real good common enemy. Brought people together by having that hate form for an enemy, aka the Jews, the gays, all the people that he hated. He got power. The wizard got power. And when you call that out, they don't fucking like it, because when rich white men who have gone and taken over every other piece of land in this country and step on every little person they can to get the success level they have, when you try to tell them they're wrong or take that away from them, they will do whatever they got to do to mess you up. And that's what they did to Elphaba. He said, whoa, 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 I just brought these people together by having them all hate the animals. Mind you, the animals didn't do anything to him. I just brought all these people together. You can't ruin that. You can't tell anyone. And then you know what happened? Brother, I'm about to cry. Brother, who did Elphaba have with her in the movie?
Glinda?
Glinda. Yeah, Glinda. Yeah. They're up there. The broom comes flying up. She's about to take her ascent.
Yeah.
And they go to leave. Glinda, the person who has no ties to the life of Elphaba, to understand, Elphaba said, I've been the underdog. Elphaba said, I have been the underdog. And I know that what I'm seeing is not right, and I can't fuck with that. Now, Glinda can't really understand all those things, right? She didn't live the life Elphaba lived. She lived a life full of privilege. She didn't have financial struggles. She was popular. She had all the friends that anyone could ever want. She'd never felt rejection before. She had every piece of privilege you could think of. She befriended Elphaba, who was trying to call out the issues. So we're thinking, hell, this is splendid. You got one girl who's trying to fight for the animals who are being wrongfully accused and wrongfully made the enemy. And Elphaba's here, who's been an underdog her whole life. And she said, I ain't fucking with it. Then you got Glinda, who's had no shared experiences. She can't understand what Elphaba's going through, and that's okay. She's not going to because she's never experienced it. But she started listening to Elphaba. She started becoming her friend and hearing her experiences and talking about things. And you can really see that she started to realize, like, ooh, there's nothing wrong with Elphaba. Yeah, she's not white like us. I mean, there's black people in the movie, but obviously her green skin, even when they announced her as the Wicked Witch, Madame Morrible said her green skin is an outward manifestation of her truly twisted nature. Y'all still ain't seeing the comparison to today with black people? The color of her skin is an outward manifestation of her twisted nature. Glinda looked at her and said, when they announced her as the Wicked Witch, right? Propaganda. Let's make the trans people the wicked ones. Let's make the black people the enemies. Let's make the gays the enemies. Let's make poor people the enemies. But mainly, it's trans women of color. Let's be real. That unfortunately ain't nobody below them. And I hate to say that because God, I hate it, but that's the truth. Society has put them at the bottom. And it looked like it was her fault, right? They made it. They made it look like it was her fault. Trans women are going in the bathrooms. Trans women are doing. They made them look like it was legitimate. And Glinda looked at her friend who was being treated this way by her government. And Glinda said, don't be afraid, Elfie. And Elphaba said, I'm not afraid. It's the wizard who should be afraid of me. And Glinda co-signed on this. She's like, you know what? You're right. And not 2 minutes later in the movie, when she's about to jump out the thing and fly for the first time, she said, Glinda, come with me. Come help me fight the system. Think of what we could do together. Elphaba knew. Elphaba knew that Glinda had the money. Elphaba knew Glinda had the connections. She had the friends. She had the power. She had influence over people. She had a voice that she could have used. She had things that she could have done to help Elphaba's cause. And then when it was time for Glinda to jump off that motherfucking balcony with her, Glinda said, oh, I don't know. I'm about to cry, I swear. Elphaba said, think of what she's trying. You can see Elphaba crying in that moment, and she's telling Glinda, Glinda, come with me.
And that's exactly, it reminds me of like the correlation to society.
Surely people see the correlation, right? Like this movie's not just a movie. It's a protest. And you know what kills me even more? People will watch that movie, people who support Trump's administration, and they think they're the Elphaba in the movie. They're like, oh, it feels good. Yes, because, they're trying to hold us down. You're not Elphaba, bitch. You're the wizard. You're Madame Morrible. Brother, talk about it for a second. I gotta cool off.
Well, damn, there's not much to talk about.